All right. Welcome to what we call the Rokani Media Football. And today, this is one of the stories I've been waiting for a very long period of time to do. Because I was like, with his performances, how are clubs not looking at this guy? And who are we talking about? We are talking at Morgan Rogers. Now, if clubs are in for Sandro Tonali and very many others, then Morgan Rogers should be one of those that they should be looking for more and more and more and more, because he's 23 years of age. That is it. Morgan Rogers has gone ahead to obviously play 31 games this season in the Premier League, 8 goals and 5 assists, meaning that those are 13 goal involvements in there for you. UEFA Europa League, 10 games, 1 goal and 2 assists, taking his goal tally to 9 and having 7 assists. Those are 16 goal involvements this season, and we know he'll hit 20 goals this particular season. So I was like, why aren't clubs really looking in for him? Because many clubs are really looking in for English players, because the homegrown players rule is affecting them, and they've gone ahead obviously let out very many young talents in there for you. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fantastic fun wherever you are, and just continue to subscribe, because the more you subscribe, the more you'll obviously get more and more content in here onto the Rokani Media Football. So we love you guys, and continue keeping it this channel of ours. Now, let's obviously start it off with Gary Jacob. Gary Jacob is one of the sports journalists that I really respect so highly, and he has come up and said the following, that he has said that Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea have renewed their interest in Morgan Rogers for this summer. Aston Villa's valuation is likely to exceed £80 million. However, potentially selling Rogers would likely be the most straightforward way to alleviate their financial pressures. Now, sorry about that. If you know Morgan Rogers, I like what he does. Morgan Rogers is one of those players that has really shocked the world with his skill set, and he really put out a very huge consistent performance ever since he joined this club of Aston Villa. I tell you, he is one of those players that didn't cost them a lot of money when he was crossing from Middlesbrough to come and join a side known as Aston Villa, and they had to pay 15 to 16 million pounds to obviously do the needful, and Middlesbrough has a 25% sell-on clause. That's what we're hearing from the side called Middlesbrough in there for you. And Aston Villa are really having financial problems. We all know that if they don't qualify for the Champions League, it will be very hard for them to obviously find themselves in a position of really keeping this player. And even the player might be wanting to obviously look for greener pastures elsewhere, because if a team like Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea knock on their door, it will be stupid of you to say no. If I told you Morgan Rogers at 23 years of age, look, at Arsenal, you come in through, and with your performances and with your versatility, you can play in different positions, because Morgan Rogers can be played in different positions as a player. You get? He can play in very many positions. I tell you, he can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play as a left winger. He can play as a right winger. He can play as a center forward. That is it. He can play as a left midfielder in there for you. So in numbers, he can play as a number 8. He can play as a number 10. He can play as a right forward. He can play as a left forward. He can also lead the line. Now, let me obviously add positions and names to the players of Arsenal. He can play the Declan Rice role. He can play the Martin Odegaard role. He can play the Bukayo Saka role. He can play the Martinelli slash Trossard role. He can also do the role of Victor Gyökeres. Now, if you are Arsenal, this is the right player you're supposed to go in for. Premier League proven, still young, very ambitious, and he wants to obviously win more. And he's an English player. His work ethic is really out of this world. And he's good at really bringing in set pieces. He can shoot from far. That's what makes him a standout player at the club of Arsenal as we speak right about now. So, Arsenal renewing their interest in this player is very amazing. Why? One of the players they're interested in, that is Sandro Tonali, has a lot of, what can we call it? We can call it a lot of suitors. A lot of people are really looking at him. And Arsenal might not be sure of whether they will obviously win the race. Convincing the player to come and play for Arsenal will be very easy. But negotiating with Newcastle, the amount of money that will be needed for this player to come and really play for the club of Arsenal will be a very huge question, because right now they are saying £100 million. But if the bidding war escalates, they might call in for 120. Clubs are mad. A club like Chelsea, that is most likely to lose a player known as Enzo Fernandez to Real Madrid, might break the bank and say, we are paying £120 million to obviously get the player, like they did on Caicedo. Liverpool had put in £115 million after Arsenal had pulled out. Then Chelsea came in through with £1 more million to sign the player at 160. Now, teams like Newcastle are not obviously going to papa or to fidget and really do this deal hurriedly, because they know that for Isak, they went ahead to get in £125 million for his deal, because they were like, we are not going to sell at a price that we think is not right. We will only sell at a price that we think is right. So that's what exactly happened at Newcastle, and they went ahead to obviously find themselves in a position of really having that player, and indeed he really came in through and really put in a very huge shift in there. So they've already gone ahead to set that precedent, and now I think they're going to do the same thing on Sandro Tonali. So that's why Arsenal is like, let us look elsewhere. And elsewhere, where have they gone ahead to look? They've gone ahead to look at a side known as Aston Villa for the 23-year-old England international, that is Morgan Rogers. And if I'm Morgan Rogers, Arsenal is a very good side for me. Why? He's a multifunctional player. And when you look at Aston Villa, he's being played in different positions by the manager, Unai Emery. But to me, the biggest win for Aston Villa will be the profit that they would have gone ahead to make. Because if you are to calculate, they bought him for 15 to 16 million pounds. That means that there will be a profit of 65, and take off the 25% that this side will take. That means they can make a profit of like 40 million pounds from the sale of Morgan Rogers. You understand? So, and if they negotiate well, they can even get 100, because if this trio of teams are really in for Morgan Rogers, that means you can obviously say the biggest bidder takes it all, and they'll obviously dive in. But I don't think that the same club will sign Sandro Tonali and Morgan Rogers. I know one club will take Sandro Tonali and the other will obviously take Morgan Rogers in there for you. So that's exactly what we are having in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Arsenal has gone ahead to renew their interest in a player called Arsenal has renewed their interest in a player called Morgan Rogers. And if you know how good he is, I think whichever club takes him would have gone ahead, obviously, sign themselves one of the most, would have lost one of the most promising English youngsters in the world. And that is Morgan Rogers for you. From there, let's obviously get to the Champions League. The man that was red carded when Barcelona was losing to Atletico Madrid, who goes by the names of Cubarsi, has finally come up and obviously spoken after really stupidly costing his team like that. And he has gone ahead to obviously come out and really say that, guys, smash the like button, comment and share. And if you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. So, Cubarsí has said, one action determines the match and affects the outcome. That's how football is, and I take responsibility for what happened. That's still a road ahead for us to travel. We are more united than ever. We are family, and we've always proven that. Forward with effort and determination, and we will never lower our arms in there for you. So, he has obviously thrown in his interest, and he's like taking the blame, and he's taking it 100% that indeed he costed his club the points that they would have gone ahead to collect. Because when you look at the stats, Barcelona is one of those that has gone ahead to obviously get the most shots on goal, shots on target, more possession, and everything was in their favor. But it's only the goals that never really went ahead to cross the line. And Atletico Madrid had only 3 shots on target, and 2 of those went ahead to cross the line. So, that one mistake that he did, Cubarsí, and I think it was really childish and stupid, though, at his level, at the level where Cubarsí is, there are mistakes that he's not supposed to be doing. If you know, you know. So, for me, Cubarsí went ahead to make a very big mistake in there, and I'm like, who does that indeed? And it was really very naive of him, though it's not the first time he's doing it. I remember in the match reaction I did in the morning, I told you that he did it way back when the team of Barcelona was being knocked out by PSG, and I think by that time Mbappe was there, and Mbappe went ahead to do the needful, yet Barcelona had gone ahead to win the first leg 3-2 in Paris, and the other guy, known as Rafinha, had gone ahead to score a hat-trick. So, that is how naive he looked, and he came out and spoke. That one moment was not really called for, though he really went ahead, obviously, give Barcelona a very hard mountain to climb. Then Hansi Flick has come and commented on Gavi tears. He said he did his best. He was fantastic in the second half. Everyone tried to give their best. And even though we were down a man, we dominated the ball a lot, and we also created some scoring chances. Indeed, they did. And it was typical Barcelona football, tiki-taka all over the place. But they couldn't find the ball at the back of the net. And Atletico Madrid went ahead to do that, and Diego Simeone was like, oh my God, we've gone ahead to collect these points. And he's like, we are waiting for you at the Wanda Metropolitano. And I was reading a certain report. Do you know that this is the first time Atletico Madrid has gone ahead to win at Camp Nou since 2006? You get 2006. How many years are those? Atletico Madrid last won at Camp Nou 20 years ago, 2 decades. It shows you how Barcelona was assured of this, but the red card went ahead to obviously cause problems to the side of Barcelona. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David remains my name. I love you all, and thank you for keeping it this channel. And no one will obviously stop us from obviously broadcasting the best of the best that you guys deserve, but your reactions are hugely welcome in the comment section below. I sign out for now. See you later. Bye bye.